If I had to start all over again today with 0 followers and 0 personal brand recognition across all social media platforms, this is exactly what I would do in order to start making 10K a month within the next 90 days. If you're new here, hey friend, my name is Lynn. I talk about personal development and personal finance here on this channel. So if you like content like that, definitely subscribe and join the party. So let's get into it. The first thing I would do is identify which social media platform I spend the most time on. Is it TikTok? Is it YouTube? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Instagram? Yes, I can know that my target audience is on LinkedIn, but if I barely spend time on LinkedIn, it's going to be such a learning curve for me to identify the styles that tend to trend on those social media platforms, what the algorithm tends to pick up on, know the nuances of how people create. For example, creating on YouTube is completely different from creating on TikTok. Also, you would recognize that on platforms like YouTube, a thumbnail is really important versus on TikTok, the algorithm kind of chooses for you. And so that's why I want you to just think about where you watch the most content, because it's going to be less of a learning curve for you and it's going to be easier for you to create on a consistent basis. Next, you're going to identify what topic you can be an expert or a leader on. And I know in this day and age, everyone has just popped up and considered themselves an expert, and it can get dangerous. We have a bunch of dating coaches out here who are single and have never been able to keep a long-term healthy relationship, fitness influencers who have gotten work done on their body, and now they're teaching you how to eat nutritiously and build a booty and build a body and all this other stuff, when they have clearly, or not so clearly, sometimes it's hard to tell, that they've gotten work done to their body. While I don't necessarily agree with going that route, you cannot deny that they've been able to position themselves as leaders and people are learning from them and they might be helping others. And so I want you to just chuck out imposter syndrome. So I have my finance degree, my bachelor's of business admin with an area of emphasis in finance. I have an advanced accounting diploma, and I have close to a decade of corporate finance and accounting experience. And even I find myself taken aback when people say that I have helped them with their finances, because in my mind, I'm like, I'm just a girl, but you have no idea what other people don't know. What's obvious to you and what comes natural to you just might not come that natural to others. And don't think of yourself as someone with no skills and nothing to teach, because regardless of where you are in your life, there's someone who's not there yet who can benefit from what you have to share. Your life experiences, what you've been taught in school, what you've self-taught yourself, you have something valuable to add to this world. And if you're stuck, you don't know where to start, I would ask yourself, what did the version of you from 5 years ago or 10 years ago need to hear? Be the person that you would have needed when you were younger. From that point, you'll be able to identify maybe there are some things that you can speak on, that you're an expert on, that you can be a leader in because of your own life experiences and what you've learned over the last 5 or 10 years. I have created a free 10-page ebook that will help you to monetize your platform, just like this video, but it goes more in depth because I have included email templates that you can use to reach out to brands, created a list of affiliate programs that are eligible to creators, even if you have a smaller audience, tips on creating a profitable brand that is still ethical and still maintains trust with your audience, and most importantly, like I say at the end of almost every video, staying true to you. So if you're interested, grab it down below. It is completely free, and let me know what your thoughts are on it. Actually send me an email or a DM or whatever, because I want to know if it was helpful for you or if there were any gaps that I could help you with further. So once you know the topic that you want to talk about, I'm going to say choose a title, choose something that you can see yourself growing with. Some people like to go by their full name, some people go by their first and middle name, or you can go by a brand name. But regardless of whatever name you choose, make sure you snag it on all social media platforms so that as you expand, you still have the option to create on other social media platforms using your same brand name. You can keep your brand recognition very consistent across all social media platforms. I would be so pissed to find out that I've created a brand here on YouTube, and then when I finally want to start creating on TikTok, for example, someone is already operating under the name Allure, or on Instagram, wherever. All right, next, speaking of other platforms, I would go ahead and choose a secondary platform for you to take business further, take engagement further, and just get to know your community and audience a little bit better. In this step, this is where I would start to consider where your target audience is hanging out. If I were to use my current social media platform as an example, my main platform is YouTube. I watch YouTube videos. I still love long form content. But when I first started creating on social media, YouTube was my first social media platform ever. I had no public Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. So YouTube was the easiest for me because that was the platform that I was watching the most. So Instagram is my secondary platform where I post on my stories, I reply to DMs, I post not as frequently as I did on YouTube. However, I post on my stories more casual and behind the scenes things that helps me and my audience get to know each other a little bit better. I reply to DMs. Sometimes I even send voice notes depending on what I'm doing and if my hands are free. And it just allows us to get a little bit closer and get to know each other a little bit better. I'm also able to click on people's profile and see who they are, what they're posting, what they're about. Even if their page is private, I'm still able to see their bio or even a profile picture. Engagement is able to be taken up a whole nother level. Comment down below if you know where that's from. But I'm just able to get to know my community a little bit better, and it's more of a two-way street. Whereas YouTube, yes, I comment back as much as I can in my comment section, but it's just not the same type of vibe as talking to someone in the DMs. You know what I mean? I'll use another example. There's someone on social media who is a tech recruiter. Her main platform is TikTok. She posts a whole bunch on TikTok, but she's constantly referring back to her LinkedIn and telling people to follow her on LinkedIn or connect with her on LinkedIn. And she does a lot of her next level content or next level engagement or doing sales via LinkedIn, because that's where people are able to get to her on a different level. Whatever platform you choose, I would just suggest you have at least one platform where you can send direct messages or private messages to people, and or you have vertical short form video as an option. Only because right now vertical short form video is really taking off. It's really popular and a lot of people consume it. So it is easier for you to get yourself out there on those platforms. However, if you yourself are not a vertical short form content consumer, I wouldn't make that your primary content platform initially. Now, as you start to get more comfortable creating content and being consistent with it, then I would switch over. But if you're a watcher of YouTube, don't go ahead and start trying to be a TikToker. You're going to be like a fish out of water for just getting started. As you expand, let's say 30 days in, 60 days in, 90 days in, if you are thinking you want to switch over, then go ahead and do that. But first, I would focus on getting consistent and getting comfortable with posting. Next, I would outline the first few videos that I'm going to create that will allow your target audience to find you constantly. Remember, we are talking about you 5 or 10 years ago. We're talking about you as part of the friend group. We're talking about what you can be an expert on, right? And once you identified that, ask yourself, what does the person who's coming to you for advice, what do they need to hear? What would they likely be searching? And that's when you're gonna start creating how-to content. How-to content is evergreen content. People are searching for it today, they were searching for it last year, and they're gonna continue searching for it 5 and 10 years from now. So that would be things like how to monetize your social media platform, how to lose weight if you are a fashion girly, how to look chic on a budget, how to dress for your body type. Things like that is what people are searching constantly, right? And so when you create that, whether it's someone who's searching for it today or 5, 10 years from now, they'll still be able to find you. I still have people finding me from content I created years ago. And so this is how I know it works. And that's why I suggest doing that if you're just starting out. If I was starting all over again today, I wish someone would have told me that nobody knows me, no one's checking for me, no one cares what I did for Sunday brunch last week. This is just not something that people are searching. And naturally, as you share these how-tos, people will get a glimpse of your day-to-day and your personality and your behind the scenes. And so naturally, they will be asking you for the updates, or even if nobody asks, as you grow your personal brand and you become more known for one thing, when you do finally post a video on your personal life, people are tuned in because they feel like they know you. When I think Nara Smith, I think trad wife, I think home cooked meals from scratch, and I know her to be the girly in the kitchen. However, I do know other things about her just naturally from her sharing her content about cooking. For example, I know that she's a mother because she'll say, my kids were searching for XYZ, so I made XYZ. I also know that she is a wife, that recently she's been having troubles with eczema in her scalp and things like that. I know all of these things simply because she's established herself first as a woman who cooks from scratch. And naturally, as she grew as the woman who cooked from scratch, we start to learn other things about her. And mind you, I know all of these things without even personally following her physically. Technically, I don't follow her on a single platform. All of this stuff I know just from her coming across my timelines. And so that's why it's really important for you to establish yourself in one niche first and then expand. Because if you're constantly popping up on my timeline with little bits and things of everything, I don't really know you for one particular thing. And so I don't really think of you when it comes to one particular subject. And that's not how to grow in such a noisy social media space like we're in right now. That strategy of sharing every little bit of you might have worked 20 years ago when YouTube was brand new. But this day and age, the internet is very noisy. There are a lot of content creators, there's a lot of content, and there's a lot of platforms that are popular. And so you need to establish yourself in one space, and you can definitely add elements of your life in that content as you go on, but you can't dedicate whole videos to every aspect of your life. My first YouTube video was a story time. Then I did outfit ideas for Valentine's Day. Then I did a makeup tutorial. Then I did a hair video. Then I did a reaction video. It was all over the place. And I know from personal experience, if a video goes viral and you have no other content on your page or your profile that aligns with that content, be prepared for that to be a one-hit wonder. Be prepared for that to be one piece of content that is done well, but it doesn't necessarily reflect in your channel growth or brand recognition. It's important to be consistent, not just in the amount of times you post, but also in the type of content you're posting. Next, I would create a freebie. I would create something like an ebook or a free course or a checklist that would help my target audience to get to the next level or to just help them along in their journey. Examples of this are meal plans, DIY cutouts, or editing pack, or I think it's called a LUT or an LUT or a filter. I don't know. If you're a photographer and you know what I'm talking about, drop it down below. But basically, I would create something that is free. It's still valuable, but it isn't too in-depth, that is just helpful for my audience. The reason why you want to do that is because you want to start creating an email list. You do not own the social media platforms that you are creating on, and I cannot scream this enough. You do not own the algorithms, okay? One day you're popular, your content is showing up in every single algorithm push, and another day it might not be. But what you do control is your email list, how many times you create emails, see who got them, who opened them, who's engaged, and you have a better chance of keeping in contact with the people who resonate with your content if you are offering them something free in exchange for their email, so that you can keep a long-lasting relationship with the people who have found you and resonated with your content and found it helpful. Next, you want to make sure that you are setting up your monetization channels for affiliate earning. Whether you decide to create a product down the line or not, it's good to have affiliate income coming in, because naturally you are suggesting things, you are talking about products in your videos. And if people are buying something based off of your recommendation, it doesn't cost them any extra money, but you're able to get money on the back end because you recommended that program. A lot of brands and companies have affiliate programs set up, so you might as well go ahead and get some coin for offering the things that you were gonna offer for free anyways, and it doesn't cost your customer or audience anything extra. Examples of this are your Amazon affiliate links, or your LTK, your magic links, Joby membership. If it's a company you enjoy, you shop often with, or you're constantly recommending it, go ahead and set up your affiliate accounts, because that's an extra stream of revenue that can help you get to your goal revenue mark per month. So now we are creating content on our platform. We're creating how-to content, evergreen content. We're building our social media platform. What I'm looking out for is questions that are frequently asked. I'm looking for the FAQs because that's going to help me to build the product that I am going to monetize. What product would best serve your audience? Now, this is optional. You don't necessarily have to create a paid product, but if you are looking to monetize your platform, this is an option for you. You want to make sure that whatever you create is helpful, because it takes forever to build brand trust, but it can be destroyed in an instant. I can talk on and on about this topic, but we're gonna move on so this video isn't too long. I know that people are struggling with their attention spans these days. Don't worry, we're gonna move on. Next step, I want you to tag every single brand that you talk about, whether you have an affiliate link or not. I also want you to do brand outreach, just introducing yourself to brands and letting them know that you exist. You might think that all of this happens organically, And sometimes it does, but a lot of times it doesn't. Sometimes you have to let brands know that you exist and put yourself on their radar so that if they're working on a campaign that they think you could be a good fit for, you're already top of mind. Like I mentioned before, there are templates in the free ebook for you that'll include how you can reach out to brands via DM and via email to let them know that you exist and let them know that you would love to work with them in the future if an opportunity presents itself. I've done this myself and I've gotten free PR, but I've also gotten brand deals from reaching out to brands and letting them know that I exist, I love their products, and I'd love to work together. As someone who has worked on both sides of influencer campaigns, I promise you, not every influencer or content creator is motivated to create content. Not every content creator gets back to you when it's time to do a deal and you have money on the table and you're like, hey, do you want to work? Not every content creator is on the ball. So if you are introducing yourself, you're already separating yourself from the pack because you're letting them know that you take initiative, you're excited, and you're motivated to work on brand deals and campaigns together. For me personally, this is just my experience. I have made the most money in brand deals, and some of those brand deals I never even had to post onto my own social media platform. Some of those brand deals is what people would now consider UGC. I created the content, I gave it to the brand, and they were able to run ads using that content. But I didn't get paid like a UGC creator. I got paid as someone with their own personal brand because I have a personal brand and they reached out to me. And so that's why it's really important to just put yourself on the radar, introduce yourself to people, and let them know that you exist so that when there is an opportunity, they're already thinking of you. Towards the end of this 90-day lock-in period, I would highly suggest paying attention to what actually works. There is something called the 80-20 method where 80% of your results are coming from 20% of your efforts. And so I would look to identify and analyze what 20% of my efforts are really bringing in 80% of my income. If that is creating content on one of your social media platforms, double down on that. If that is sending out emails to your email list, I would double down on that. If that is going live, I double down on that. If that is doing brand deals, double down on that. Essentially, look at where the majority of your income is coming from and double down the actions that you are taking in order to make that money so that you can grow and scale. That is it for now. I can talk on and on about this subject forever because honestly, creating content completely changed my life. It put me in a completely different tax bracket. As someone who has the ability to earn in real life, at a corporate job, at a conventional job, I still would choose content creation to jump leap years ahead with my financial journey. Content creation completely changed my life, and I'm forever grateful that God allowed me to just take the risk and get over my fears because it completely changed my life. I pray that you have the audacity to get over your fears and do the thing, do it scared until it's not scary anymore, to chase the desire that's been placed in your heart because on the other side of that is pure bliss and pure abundance. And I just know that you're going to do great. If you made it to the end of this video, I want you to say digital money in the comments. I want to know that you're getting to this digital money. I want to hear where you're at currently, and I want to hear about things that are helping you currently. Maybe save this video and come back in a couple months once you start seeing results. So excited for it. And I can also talk about this for hours and hours and hours on end. So let me know if you have any questions down below. I'll be hanging out in the comments and commenting back. So I really want to know your thoughts. I love you so much. Love you to the moon and back. Be true to you. Mwah. Bye.